Welcome back after the break. So, we were discussing about the power of love against the power of the sun. The speaker explains that the sun will be there, the sun will be giving rays, the sun will ask the kings to go to their workplace, and tomorrow the sun, the king and everybody will be there in their bed with the speaker. He claims that because he says that his beloved is like every country, his beloved is like every country to him in the world and is like every king. Nothing is real except his power of love. Nothing is real except the bed where they enjoy their love. And he, like every king, so princess simply play at having countries. Princess simply play at having countries. But compared to what he has, all honor is mimicry. According to the poet, the love between him and his beloved is supreme, and before his love, before the love between the lover and the beloved, all other things are mimicry, playthings, jokes, and all wealth is useless. No wealth can get that much of pleasure what the lover and the beloved are getting. The sun is half as happy as the poet and his beloved. He can even go to that extent of saying that the sun is not also as happy as them. So, this is, I think, a more exaggerated opinion, and this is one of the characteristic qualities of metaphysical poetry. For the fact that the world is contracted in their bed, the world is coming to be very small and is entering into their bedroom, makes the sun's job more easier. So, so now when the entire world will come into their bedroom, the sun's world will be more easier, because the sun is growing old and old day by day. It desires ease. So, the sun wants that let the movement be easier. Let there be not so vast a place which he has to cover. And now all has to do is sign on their bed. He says that the sun need not go anywhere, need not move the length and breadth of the world, rather he can come to his bedroom and it shines in the whole world. Once the sun shines in his bedroom, then it is presumed that he is shining the entire world. This is again hyperbole, what we can say, exaggeration. This bed thy centuries, the speaker tells, these walls thy sphere. This bed is the center of the universe. That means the entire world is there. Their bedroom is a miniature world, and the walls are the sphere of the sun. So, when we think of this poem, The Sun Rising, as a metaphysical poem, we can come across so many elements of metaphysical poetry. Just like the abrupt or sudden opening, there is no description, nothing, but the poet starts sharp by saying that busy old fool, unruly sun, as if he is addressing a common man or a fool. He has taken a serious step by addressing the poet, by addressing the sun as a busy old fool, and thereby he goes on raising his points one by one, why he has called him as a busy old fool. because the sun is moving right from the morning till the evening. And during this time, he is doing a lot many works. And the poet wants to say that you be engaged in your work. We don't care for your radiance. We don't want your presence here, because we are in a supernatural world. We are in a metaphysical world. We have something more important to do than the activities being done by you. You may be supreme, you may be all powerful, you may be resplendent, but I can eclipse your radiance. But I don't want to do it because I don't want to lose the sight of my beloved even for a single moment. That is again, we can say, metaphysical love. As Donne has also written in another poem, lover and the beloved are the two legs of the same compass. They are inseparable. But their intensity of love between them grows more and more wide. That's why he says, whatever points I raise, I give sufficient proof, I give sufficient points to drive my argument home. The poet is helpless, helplessly he is lying in his bed, and he says that his love can belittle the sun by suggesting that his bed is the place to be. His bed is more important than that of the world where the sun is reigning supreme. So he says that he can also belittle the sun, he can also eclipse the sun if he so likes, but he doesn't like to get parted from his beloved. And he wants to say that the bed and the lovers, the bed, the room where he lies, the bed in which he lies, and his beloved, they are both a microcosm of the universe. They are a small universe in themselves. So let the entire world come to him, who in the end and invites the sun to become a part of the whole. He says, you sun, you busy old fool, you come and be a part of the whole universe. Come to my bed and you be a part of the whole universe, because my bed is the complete universe, and there is no point that you are not coming. The poet asks the sun why it is sunning in and disturbing him. The poet raises a question. What is the point with the sun in disturbing the lover and the beloved when they are busy making love to each other? Rather, the sun go away and do his duty, and rather he makes awake school boys, right, industrial workers, the king's man, all these people who must not lose time for their activities. So after the sunbeams are nothing, and he again goes on belittling the sun, saying that your sunbeams are nothing compared to the power of love. Here at one point of time, the poet says that the power of love, that means love, platonic love, metaphysical love, which is supreme. And before metaphysical love, between the husband and the wife, between the lover and the beloved, sun ray is nothing. sun ray is incomparable, sun ray is meaningless, and everything the sun might see around. Everything the sun might see around, the speaker says firmly that he is like a king. The poet himself thinks that he is a king and the supreme authority of everything, as he possesses the beauty and true love of his beloved. He is there with his beloved. He is there in a microcosm world. That's why he doesn't care for even the sun, nor its rays, right? Nor its radiance, nor its power, nor anything. For him, all the honors of the wealth, again, love is up above wealth. First thing is, love is up above the sun's rays, sun's power. Second, love is up above wealth in comparison of his beloved. So his beloved is everything to him. His beloved is the entire world to him. And after getting his beloved, he doesn't care for any other thing in this world. So at one point of time, he shows pity on the sun. Right? Why pity? The speaker says that sun is fully not happy. He could guess that the sun is not happy because the sun is working throughout the day. The sun is getting busy. So the loving couple is more happy, is happier. The loving couple is happier than that of the sun, who makes the entire world happy by casting its rays. The sun is not happy because it has its duty to keep the world warm. And in its old age, it wants easier work. When the sun gets old, it cannot do the difficult work. It has to do easy work. It has to have some relaxed time. So all it has to do is shine on the speaker's bed. When it gets old, when the sun gets old, it can never travel through the length and breadth of the world, so it can only focus on the speaker's bed or the lover's bed, where his beloved is lying. This way, his job is easily fulfilled as the speaker, as beloved in the world. So in this way, this son can do his work by focusing on the lover and the beloved's bed, because now the lover and the beloved, they think that their world is a microcosm world. Their bed is the entire world to him, world to them. And by shining on the bed, and once the sun starts shining on their bed, it is presumed that it is shining on the whole world. Their bed is the center of the world. The poet also doesn't feel reluctant to say that their bed is the center of the world, because where whatever people the sun has visited yesterday, they will all come to his place along with the sun. So, and the walls of the room is the edge of the world. So edge of the world means the end point of the world. The edge of the walls are the end point of the world. So in this way, the poet has become very much successful in throwing the sun out of gear, because according to the poet, the sun is powerless. According to the poet, the sun has to do his own work. He cannot control the love of the poet. The poet's love is much more supreme than his duties. The beauty of the beloved is everything for the poet, and in comparison to the beauty of his beloved, he says that nobody is more beautiful and nobody is more happy in comparison to the happiness he is enjoying in the company of his beloved. So, here he wants to say that the metaphysical qualities, whatever is there, Donne has shown most of the metaphysical qualities of the metaphysical poem, metaphysical poetry in this poem, thereby heightened the otherwise you can say normal poem, any other conventional poem. So, they have gone, metaphysical poetry has gone beyond the conventional poetry, because it is here the language, logical and intellectual argument is there in metaphysical poetry, logical and intellectual. The poet slowly goes on giving one after the other points, one after the other argument, why his love is supreme, even if it is love affair, you can say a very insignificant thing while listening to the love affairs, but he says that no, my love with my lady love, my beloved is more supreme than all the rest of the world. And even he does not feel reluctant to say that my bed is a miniature world, everybody will come to this world. When the sun will be there in his bedroom will be a world, and he says that he is the supreme king of this world, and he has all praise for his beloved. That is why at one point of time he says that no, I do not want to part with her even for a single minute, or else I would have belittled the power of sun. I would have eclipsed the power of sun, the radiance of the sun, the might of the sun. I could have done anything to the sun's rays to bring it down, but in face of his beloved's love, he says that nothing is more significant, nothing is more meaningful. That is why he does not want to go away from his beloved's place. He does not want to even wink. He has exaggerated it to such an extent that even a wink of his can carry away the radiance of the sun. The brightness of the sun will go away once he starts winking. But he does not want to do it as it is, as he does not like to part away with his wife. So, in these three stanzas there are 30 lines, and in these three stanzas the poet has very beautifully argued, beautifully presented his arguments of his love, which he says that it is more powerful, more supreme and worldly than that of the activities of the sun. Even the sun is meaningless, insignificant, powerless before the love affair of the poet. And the poet has elevated his lady love to that of a world. She is a world for her. She is all seasons. She is all days, winds, days, months, everything for her, for him. So, he says that before our love, before our happiness, nobody is more happy. The sun is not more happy than. So, that is why he wants to have some sympathy, he wants to have some soft corner for the sun, because sun is active throughout the day, sun is working so hard, but he does not get that much of happiness as the lover and the beloved, as the poet and his beloved are getting. And there lies the upper hand of the poet, upper hand of the lover and the beloved over the supreme power of sun. And here in these three stanzas, in the first stanza the poet says that poet charges directly the sun. Why he is disturbing the lover and the beloved in their activities. When it is early in the morning and they are still in the bed, there is no point of the sun entering into their room and disturbing them. Second, he says that the sun, who is all powerful, he thinks, who is reverent and strong, he is not strong before the strength of the love between the beloved and him. He and his beloved, they are enjoying the most powerful, strongest love that is there, which is more stronger than the beams of the sun, the power of the sun. So, he wants to say that whatever power you are enjoying, you can have that before others. You go around the world, you ask the kings, you ask the people, you ask the princess, everywhere you go, and next day you come to me, so that I will tell you what is the world. Because for him, for the poet, his lady love is the world. And he also says that she is all states, all nations, and in fact the entire world for him. And that's why he doesn't care for the sun. And he says that let the sun come to his room so that he can enjoy in the miniature world that the poet has created in the company of his lady love. He doesn't want to part with his lady love, and both of them will be there in that bed, and that room is their own world where they can enjoy all the pleasures of the world, which even they argue that the sun may not be getting. The sun is not as happy as the lover and the beloved. So, and with this he says, shine here to us. He says, you just cast your rays to us. Come here to our room. Come here to our bed. And once you come to this bed, you will be there everywhere in the world. Because our bed is a miniature world. And I am the supreme authority. I am the king of everything. Right? Princess, but do players. So, in comparison to his world, the sun's world is not so powerful, because the sun is getting older and older day by day and becoming more and more powerless, sick. He can't do work. But here is the young lover and the beloved. They are in full of their life. They can enjoy every moment of their life by making love to each other. So, once the sun comes into their room, it will be the entire miniature world for them. And this bed, thy center, so their bed is going to be the center of the world. He again says that their bed is going to be the center. This is again an exaggerated statement. The bed of a lover is going to be the center of the world. This is exaggeration, hyperbole, which is one of the characteristic qualities of metaphysical poets. And metaphysical poets are having far-fetched imagery. The imagery here is the world and that of the bedroom. The bedroom where just the lover and the beloved, they are loving, and they said that let the sun come to our place, let the sun enter into our room, and that will be a miniature world. So, this type of imagery, far-fetched imagery, this type of paradoxical statements, this type of hyperbole, all these are characteristic qualities of the metaphysical poets for which they are famous. And they are also famous for their telescoping of images. And they are also famous for their wide knowledge in every branch of knowledge. They have, we can say that the metaphysical poets are having encyclopedic knowledge on astronomy, astrology, in science, geography, everything, geometry. The geometry, example of geometry is given in canonization, where the lover and the beloved are compared to the two legs of a compass. That is geometry, right? And here it is the sun, again a cosmic figure, an agent of heaven, the sun god we say. But here the poet say that even if he is sun god, still then he is powerless in face of our love, which is not mundane love, which is not physical love, which is, you can say, platonic love or heavenly love, where there is one-to-one correspondence between the lover and the beloved, and where each of them is not going to part with the other, whatever may be the condition of the world. Rather, they want to make their place a world of their own. The lover has gone to the extent of saying that my beloved is a miniature world. In my beloved you will find all states, all countries, all people, and nobody has got the power which is there with his beloved. So, this type of love, which we can say metaphysical poets are also famous for their love poetry. They write love poems, but unconventional love poems. Prior to the metaphysical poets, there were love poems by Elizabethan writers, but here we find a new concept of a new genre of literature, genre of poetry, that is metaphysical poetry, where everything is beyond this mundane world, physical world, metaphysical, beyond the physical earth. Whenever they speak of love, that is also beyond the physical love or sensuous love, right? Where there is emotion involved, where there is sensuousness involved. This is not that type of love. This is platonic love, heavenly love, which knows no law. He says, our love knows no law, our love knows no season, no time, no weather, no place. It doesn't care for anything. Once the lover and the beloved agree to each other, they go on making love, and their love, the intensity of their love goes on increasing from time to time. That's why he says, we are the supreme creatures and all others are subservient to us, all others are secondary to us, all others may be insignificant to us. Even he has gone to the extent of saying that even the sun seems to be insignificant before their love. He can be eclipsed. He can be eclipsed by the poet, but the poet doesn't want to leave his beloved solitary, leave his beloved isolated for even a single moment. This is the sum and substance of the sun rising, where very beautifully the poet has compared his love with that of the power of the sun. Here the power of the sun is important, because we say that sun is all pervading, sun is all strong, sun is all radiant, right? Sun gives the rays to everybody. There is no place on the earth where it is not, where the sun rays does not fall, where it is not reflected by the sun rays, where the sun doesn't cast his rays. But here only in one place, the lover's bedroom, sun ray cannot enter into, and once the sun ray entered, he has started scolding the sun. Thank you.